Have you been stuck, or are you stuck? Have you tried and forced and squeezed those creative juices dry but come up with nothing? Well, what is happening is that the subconscious has the answer, but you being intent on making it happen now has the opposite effect. In hypnotherapy, we call this the law of reversed effect. I'm Valerie, the creator of hypnotictrip.com. As a hypnotist and hiker for the past 20 years, I've realized how much the two have in common for helping to access the subconscious mind and find answers and solutions. Today's show features Katsük, a really cool singer-songwriter, musician, yogi, drummer, dirt worshiper, and tree hugger, and how he recently used nature to create and connect with his next song.
As soon as I step under the canopy of trees, it feels like my whole body just slows and sighs and begins to relax.
And it does. It does. The late Wayne Dyer talked about intention, and nature has intention built into it. So the oak tree is not trying to be a cypress tree, and vice versa. So when you step out into nature, you're in that intentionality, that really perfection that is there. So tell me about your latest inspiration in nature.
Well, I wrote this song. I've been doing these commissions for people to write songs for their partner or friends or for themselves or for their enemies, whoever. I'll write a song for anybody. And so I was out there thinking of this, of my friend who I was writing it for, her husband. And I was writing all of these different riffs and patterns, and it just felt so forced. And then I was just like, I'm gonna give up on this I'm gonna go hiking for a little bit. And I just went, put my guitar down and walked around for a little bit and came back and sat down, and I had this feeling inside that I should just retune my whole guitar to a different tuning. And when I did, it was there, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah, thank you.
It came through. Super.
So hard to sit still. I guess I didn't have to. I could have gotten up and moved around.
Probably maybe even harder.
Earlier when we were talking, you mentioned a story about self-hypnosis and hiking. I'd love you to share that.
Yeah. It was my first time to really see the power of repetition. I've always heard about it, that it works and it's helpful to kind of get the mind out of its bogs that it gets into, its blocks. And I was in New Zealand, and I was hiking this trail that was going to this waterfall. And I was told that the trail was, the waterfall was just right, maybe like a quarter mile or something. And it was the greenest, fluffiest grass. And I was like, oh, I'm taking my shoes off. I'm going to walk this trail just barefoot. And I start walking, and then the trail turns into like the sharpest, like craziest rocks like imaginable. And I'm like, help. Every second, and I would walk for like 30 minutes, and I passed someone, and I'm like, I was like, how far is the waterfall? And she's like, oh, you're about like a quarter of the way there. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, well, I can turn around because my feet were in pain. And,
So you didn't bring your shoes with you?
I didn't bring it with me. I just left them in the car. Like, this could be a nice, soft, cushy
It's just
trail.
right over there, right?
Right over there. Well, I have my mala beads, my meditation beads. So I just started singing the only two mantras that I know. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, which is the song about overcoming challenges. I just kept singing it over and over and over again. And I put my attention there, and I felt like I was kind of moving into a space of hypnotism, and like all the pain in my feet would go away. And then I'd come to the end of that mantra, and doing 108 of them, and then all of a sudden the pain would go right back to my feet, and I was like, oh, new mantra. So I'd start singing another mantra, and about 3 or 4 in, you know, all the pain would go away, and I could just focus on that mantra. And finally made it to the waterfall, just in time for sunset.
That's beautiful. They do. So thank you so much, Daniel.
Very welcome.